So many games come out every week, it's almost impossible to keep up with unless it's your full-time job. Well, here at Game Conclave, we've got your back. We scour the web for all the info we can find on upcoming releases, and today we got another batch of 7 new games coming out in January to let you know all about. I'm VBerg, and as always, welcome to Game Conclave. As I mentioned, we got 7 more titles to dive into for our 5th video on the new games of January. Final Night is a beat-em-up roguelike focused around party building. The game is developed by 2 O'Clock Soft, and in it you'll combine 9 classes, 6 backgrounds, as well as various moralities and feats to try and optimize your party's synergy. You'll clear stages to buy new equipment and relics and bash bosses for the shiniest of loots. This game definitely seems like a very arcadey throwback to like something like the Dungeons & Dragons Shadow over Mystara, which I'm actually kind of shocked has never been made playable in the modern era. Anyways, Final Night is entering early access today, January 13th on PC, and has a planned Switch port at some point down the line once the early access period is over. Whenever it does hit full release, we will be sure to let you know. Tribe Nation is a real-time strategy game with roguelike elements. It is developed by Random Worlds SRO, and I think that this is their first title. The game is set during the Gallic Wars, as you pick between various Celtic leaders with different bonuses trying to flee the incoming armies of Julius Caesar, and claim yourselves a new homeland. You'll clash with other Celtic tribes that have capitulated to Caesar. After the bite-sized battles, you'll be given the option to pillage your enemies, depending on whether you do a soft, normal, or a brutal pillage. Determines what kind of resources you gain from the fight, alongside potential bonuses or potential handicaps. So you have to think strategically about how you treat the fallen armies, as you don't really know what might be coming up. You can find shops and purchase new equipment that provide bonuses to your army. Played a bit of the demo, and I enjoyed my time with it. Roguelikes and strategy can sometimes be almost at odds with one another, but wanting to plan things out and the randomness of the other. But what I saw of it worked here, so this one's going to be a full release on PC on January 15th. Things Too Ugly is a point-and-click psychological horror adventure title created by Professor Space Games, which is an indie solo developer, and I do think this is their debut title. Set in Mississippi in 1986, you work as a risk assessment data processor for Tenebros Incorporated. You will comb through company records, uncovering mysterious activities your employer engages in. What you do with that info can make or break the company. You will solve puzzles and interpret clues as you delve further and further into the company's deepest secrets from your retro-equipped desk. Things Too Ugly will be getting a full release on PC, Switch, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5 on January 16th.
So this is strange. I've got a message in the console, but it's not one known to verify.
The DreadOut Remastered Collection is a compilation title consisting of the first 2 DreadOut games, DreadOut and DreadOut Keepers of the Dark. These 2 survival horror titles were made by Digital Happiness, a small studio based out of Indonesia, who previously crowdfunded the original releases through Indiegogo, and there are now 5 games in the Dread series. They have some mechanics in them that are very similar to the Fatal Frame series, so if you're a fan of that, you should probably give this one a glance. In a mix of first and third person perspectives, you'll play as a high school girl and use your smartphone to fend off mythical Indonesian spirits in a deserted town. So if you're looking to get creeped out, this collection will be coming out on the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and the Switch on January 16th. Broken Alliance is one we've covered previously in our RPGs of January video. This is coming by way of Placeholder Gameworks, an indie studio out of Estonia. They previously released Death and Taxes, and they've got members on staff who worked on Disco Elysium and Heroes of Might and Magic. So I think this take on the Heroes of Might and Magic formula is in pretty good hands. Broken Alliance is set in a fantasy world that is dying. You'll pick between one of 4 distinct factions. Paradise is aligned with nature, Forge is focused on technology, Anchorage are traditionalists, and Phobos are some creepy fanatics. Creepy. You'll recruit units based on mythological creatures and monsters, and use a card system for unique skills you utilize on your units or enemies in a turn-based tactical RPG with some really sweet pixel art. I really think, like I stated before, this one's just like the perfect blend between the aesthetics of old school games and then the clarity we kind of expect in the modern era. Based on what I've played in the demo, the writing looks like it's going to be pretty good. The developers have said that choices will matter throughout the story, which undoubtedly means multiple endings and variations of the story to see. It's going into early access on January 15th on PC. I know I will be diving into that. If you're a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic or King's Bounty, or you just like what you're seeing, you should think about doing so as well.
They come at us with blade and spear and axe and spell to kill us and to steal from us because they feel it. Fear of the unknown.
Next up, we've got Tales of Grace's F Remastered. This is another title we've covered previously in, again, our RPGs of January video. Make sure to check that one out if you're wondering about more RPGs releasing this month. If you're not familiar with Tales, it's a long-running action RPG series that's been going on since the mid-90s. This one was originally made by Namco Tales Studio, who made most of the older Tales games. The remaster is being handled, though, by Tosei Co. They've worked on Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion, and Dragon Quest Treasures. I played a couple Tales games. Top-notch characterization, great story twists. Stories in this one's initial premise: you're living on a planet called Ethanea. 3 young children, including the main character Asbel, will come together and make a promise that could save the world, but then tragedy strikes, and they find themselves at odds with one another later on in life. This remaster will include a post-story event known as the Lineage and Legacy. Several quality of life features have been added on autosave, skip features, the ability to turn off enemy encounters, all sorts of the good stuff. The Tales of games are known in particular for their action combat systems. It's as deep as you want it to be. You can easily beat the game with button mashing or master the game's combat for harder difficulties. It can get pretty intricate. So if you're looking for a good story or action RPG or a fan of Kingdom Hearts, Star Ocean, or the Monasteries, check this one out when it launches on January 16th. It'll be hitting the Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. Last up, we've got Aloft. This is going to be an early access title. It is developed by Astro Lab Interactive, whose previous title was a party brawler called Sacrifice Your Friends. Aloft is a cozy, soft survival game set in a world of floating islands. You'll run around and farm up materials to craft new items, tools, and weapons with which to explore the world. I played a bit of the demo on this, and I really enjoyed my time with it. I especially liked once I got to access to building the little gliders and then floating from island to island. That was really cool. Gave it a really interesting setting. You can even turn the islands into big giant ships by building sails and all sorts of other stuff. You can harness the power of the wind to automate various machines you build to help you produce supplies and materials. You'll cook food for buffs and wander the skies looking for ancient ruins to solve the mysteries of the world and combat the spreading corruption. The developers have said their motto was to reward players for success and not punish them, which is why they've turned it a soft survival game. Food and drink aren't necessary, but they will provide meaningful buffs when consumed. So if you're looking for a new cozy survival automation title to vibe out to, check this one out. The early access period launches on January 15th. It's not clear how long the title will be in early access, but they have said they would like to do some console ports at some point in the future, and of course once it sees a full release, we'll be letting you know all about it. Let us know in the comments if you're going to be picking any of these titles up or giving their early access a go. Give us a like and don't forget to subscribe, as it'll really help us grow, and we're always covering a ton of new releases you do not want to miss. And as always, from all of us here at Game Conclave, thank you so much for watching.